Guys, welcome to the second video of our automated security testing using ZAP series. In the first video, we discussed about basics of ZAP. We performed a passive scan using the ZAP client API, and then we also generated the report of that scan. Agenda for today will be, first we are going to enable the test case execution from command line. For me, the main purpose was to pass this API key as a command line argument instead of directly hard coding within the project. This thing can be further reused in case, say, there are multiple environments like dev, SIT, UAT, and each time you are performing your test execution on different environment. In that case as well, you can have your environment as a command line argument, okay, and then you can perform your testing accordingly. Then we are going to explore the various reporting attributes that we have in the generate report method. Remember, we created a method for generating a report in JAP-util class. In that method, there were around 11 to 12 attributes. Okay, but we only used around 4 to 5. We provided values of 4 to 5 and we kept other as null only. Today, we are going to discuss all of those attributes. Then while these reports will be created, at that time there will be terms like strength, threshold, passive scan rule, policies, confidence. These terms will be coming into the picture at that time, so we will be discussing about these as well. Now coming to the steps, so the first step is that we need to create testng.xml and then include surefire plugin in pom.xml file, and we need to provide testng.xml location to surefire plugin. Let me show how it is done. So I have already done this thing. This is our testng.xml file where I have included our test class. This is pom.xml file. So once dependencies tag has been closed, I have used the build tag, and within this, here we have Maven surefire plugin, and this is the location to testng.xml. Okay, src test and testng.xml. So the next thing is that how we are going to execute this using command line now. So for this is the command maven, the variable that you want to define, the variable's value. This particular parameter, it is for in case you want to debug your code, and test is the Maven lifecycle that we want to use. So once this is executed, this surefire plugin will come into the picture. It will trigger the testng.xml, and within our testng.xml we have provided the ZAP test. So ZAP test will be called, and the test which is there, it will get executed. Okay, and for this I have also created the IntelliJ run debug configuration as well. Here you do not need to provide the MVN because you are already in the Maven configurations. But in case you want to execute it from the command line, say from terminal here, in that case you will need to pass this complete, you will have to pass this complete command. Okay. Then the third thing is we need to understand the parameters of report method to see various type of reports as well. Okay, so now let me go to this particular method. So here I have defined the parameters which we are going to use in our generate report method, right? And let me show you how we did it last time, just a brief of that. So this was the method that we used earlier, right? And these were the parameters that I defined last time. Then let me show the report as well, which was created last time. So if we compare the things which we already know, demo title, it is being displayed here. Traditional HTML, so the template which you are seeing here, it is traditional HTML. Then the description, it is coming over here. Site to test, the site which is coming from the test class here. Then the file name with which this report is generated. If you see here, the file name is coming, and then report directory, in which directory you want to create this report. So at that time we selected the project directory itself. Now coming to this method. So these three attributes, these are unchanged. Template, I have modified the value to traditional HTML plus, and from where I have got this value, uh, I will mention this particular URL in the description section as well in our notes. So this particular URL, if you open that, here you will see all the report templates, and the ID which is mentioned here, this is the value of that template that we use. So this time I have used this one, and last time I used this particular one, the one above it. And so if you see here, if you focus on this one, it has sections applied to it, and then themes is also applicable. For few of them there are no sections, there is no theme. And if we go to detail of this particular method, this particular template, sorry, here you will see all the sections which will be displayed and the themes which are applicable. So this id part is the value of our variables, right? And if we want to keep the multiple sections within a report, we need to separate them by pipeline operator. And by default, if we do not select any section or any theme, the default theme is light, and by default all the sections will be displayed. So what I have done here is I've used the template from our that particular page where I was showing you the template ID, then sections from here separated by this pipeline operator, then theme as dark. As we can see, theme is there. Now what is this included risk? If you come to our previous report, here we can see in our report there are various risk level. So we want to include whichever risk we want to include, we can just mention it here again, separated by the same pipeline operator. Included confidences. So there are some specific report template in which there is a mention of confidence as well. Like if you open this one, risk confidence HTML report, so here you will see this is the layout of the report. There are risks and this is confidence. So what is confidence? Confidence is like how much certain zap is that this issue is surely there. So if zap is sure, then that means the confidence is really high. But if there is like some probability associated with it, so as per the probability this thing varies. So if probability is more, the confidence is high. If the probability of occurrence is low, then the confidence is low. So similarly, you can for the reports for which confidence is applicable, you can mention this segregation as well if you want only high or medium confidence to be included in the report. Then report file name, we used it last time. We were hard coding it. Now this is the way of generating your report title dynamically. You can also give second and RR here, and then like it will be covering the aspect where you are generating multiple reports within a day. But as of now, let me keep it in this manner only. Okay. So this is the you can see pattern with which your file name will be uh, final file name will be there. Okay. And then report directory, I have changed the report directory this time and created a new folder reports, and will uh, place all the reports in there. Display true or false, it can take two value. By default it is false, and if it is false, that means nothing will happen. Like as soon as your execution is completed, you need to go manually and open the report to see the result. Whereas if you say display is yes, in that case, as soon as your execution is completed, by default the report which has been generated will be coming in the top of your IntelliJ. it will be displayed to the end user as soon as the execution is completed. Okay, let us demo these things which we have discussed as of now, and let me generate a report using this. Okay, and we'll discuss this thing as well separately. So I'm going to first time I'm going to execute it using command prompt, and here you can mention the command. Let me take it from here. We don't need to debug, and I'm going to keep only this person here. And test. So test is starting. Let us see if scan is also, yeah, passive scan is in progress now and scan has completed. And see, so if you see, this is the report that has been generated, and let us compare the values that we have used now. So first of all, we have changed template, and this is traditional HTML plus. And if we compare the both of the template which we had earlier, the simple HTML one, so it has this extra thing here, right? This chart is extra, and then I have included this like this passing rules. This is also extra. This was not part of our traditional report. Apart from that, you will find the same things. So coming to the next thing is like sections. So whatever sections that we have included, you will be able to see all those sections here, right? The next thing was theme. We have specifically mentioned here dark theme, so we can see that, yeah, a report has been generated in the same theme. Then we included only high and medium risk. So low and informational alerts are not there. And this thing will always be there. It is by default. False positive will always be a part of the report. Okay. This thing, it is not part of this particular report. Report file name. If we see the file name with which our report is generated, yeah, it is following the same pattern which we have mentioned over in our this particular variable value, right? And where it has been generated, it is generated in here. We can see, yeah. Okay. Now next thing, display true. So as soon as our execution was completed, by default we were landed to this page. Okay. So a report was opened automatically. Now the next thing is context. So for this we need to go to our zap. So here we have contexts, okay, just above the sides. So here we have default context, which is always there. Let us create our own context, and we will provide it in our report. So for that, just click on this particular new context. I'll mention name here Atul and save it. So a new context got created. After this, let us do one thing. If you see the report, here we can see we have one medium severity alert, medium risk level alert. So the alert is X frame option header not set. So I will do one thing. I will change this alert risk from medium to high. So that thing you can do in your context. And if we go here, we can see the alert type. I've selected the alert, and here I can select. You can select any of these. You can say it is false positive. You can say low, high. So let me select high here. Confirm. and then we need to include the site URL on which we want to apply this context. That will be part of this. You can exclude the things as well, but let us take the simple example for this demo. And I'm gonna select OK. So this is our site on which we are performing the test. So here just right click and select include in context. So here you will get your new context that was created, and here you can see in the form of regex the URL got added. Just click on OK and go to your IntelliJ back, and here we'll do one thing, is select the context. That's it. Okay, and now if I re-execute it, and yeah, one thing is important, that we need to clean this up. Let me show you what happens if we do not clean it up. Let me show you that thing as well. So this time I'm going to execute it from here. So what happens, like whichever alerts are there, so reports are generated on basis of this. Already we have this X-frame option header as a medium alert. Okay, and then we are saying that on basis of new passive scan, make this alert as a high alert. So in our report we will see that this alert is present as both medium and high. So that's why it is really important to clean your alert, clean your site tree after each run. And in our next videos we will also see how to do it with the help of zap client API. See, as I was telling you, due to our context in the new run, that X option header thread became high, and in previous run it was medium. So that's why we are able to see both. And low, as we haven't included in our report, these are not part of the report. So let me do one thing. Let me clean the site tree. So as soon as you clean the site tree, all the alerts are removed automatically. Now let me do a fresh run, and you will be able to see this time only high alert is uh, displayed. Okay, scan is in progress. Scan is completed, report has opened. Look, this time as we have cleaned the site tree, alert got cleaned, everything was clean, and then we executed the run using the new context that we have, and we can see in the report the issue which was reported as medium earlier is now being reported as a high alert, because we have set up in our context, we have set up like whenever you get this kind of threat, then mark that threat as a high risk threat. Okay, so this is the context thing. Now let us see this report. As we were earlier discussing in our notes, that we need to see the terms which are being used in the report, right? These strength, threshold, passive scan rule, policies, and confidence. Confidence we have already discussed. So confidence is how certain ZAP is that a threat is there. Okay. So if certainty is more, confidence is more. If certainty is less, confidence is also less. Then about strength and threshold. So we can see in this report, if we go to the passing rules, there is threshold mentioned and strength is also there. So what is strength first? As we can see for passive scan, it is mentioned as null. Nothing is there. So strength is with what force you want Jab to attack for a particular threat. As it is a passive scan, Jab do not perform any attack. Right? In case of active scan, Jab will modify the HTTP response messages, and then it will perform the active scan. But as it is a passive scan, there is no strength associated, because there is no specific attack being performed by Jab. Then threshold is up to what level like Jap can wait before raising a alert. So if this particular threat has a low threshold, that means it will Jap will raise a lot of alerts for that. If a threat has high threshold, so Jap will wait up to that level is reached. Only then after reaching that particular level, Jap will raise the alerts. Let us go to these definitions here, which I have included. Yeah. So coming to strength, intensity of attack only for active scan. This controls the number of attacks that JAP will perform. If you select low, then fewer attacks will be used, which will be quicker because attacks are fewer. Then you will be seeing that scan is getting completed earlier, but may miss some issues, right? And if you select it as a high, right, your strength is high, that means you are asking Jap to perform more attacks. It will take more time, but it will find more issues as well. So you need to take a balance between both of these. That's why most of the time mediums are selected, but again these depends on the kind of threats as well. Like if a site is more vulnerable to some particular threat, they can keep changing their threats as per their need, right? I will show you where we can customize this thing. First let us cover this threshold as well. So once a threshold is crossed only, then alerts are raised. So like as we discussed earlier, this controls how likely JAP is to report potential threat. If you select off, then scan rule won't run. If you select low, then more potential issues will be raised, which mean there can be lot of unsignificant threats reported as well, because that threshold whichever will be low will be crossed multiple times, and as soon as the threshold is crossed, Jap will straight away raise alert for that. Similarly, if you select it as a high, then fewer potential issues will be raised, which may mean that some real issues are missed, right? Okay, now where we can see for passive scan, like where these rules are configured, let me show that as well. So if you go to JAP, so here go to tools, options, and the passive scan rules, right? So these rules are being displayed in the report as well here. So let us do one thing. I will mark extreme option header threshold to off. Okay, clean the site tree and then re-execute the test case. So as we were discussing that if you select off, then the scan rule won't run. So that means the only issue that we were getting in our report will not be there anymore. And guys, we can ignore this. This is coming due to that particular parameter which we have included in our command line argument for debugging purpose. Okay. See, there is none, right? And now let us do one more thing. Before we come here, I think there is one more thing we can see in this report. Yeah, the passing rules here you can see X frame option header is off, right? We updated it there and it is being correctly reflected here. And then the next step is we'll do one thing. Keep an eye of the alerts that we already have 8. We'll remove it. Now I'm going to mention all the rules to low threshold. Okay, and now we will we will do one more thing. Here I will say include all low as well. So our first check will be the number of alerts here should be increased from 8 to some other number, because we are saying that we have set the threshold to low for all the rules, and that means, as we were discussing, if threshold is low, the alerts will be raised more frequently. Test is starting. Scan has started. This will become 0 and passive scan will get completed. Report is there. Before coming to report, let us see the alert. So see, alert has increased. Previously we have 8, now we have 13. So that means threshold is working as expected. Now you will see some other number in report, and we'll see why that is happening. So report is still saying that there is just 7 low and 1 high, whereas here we can see there is 1 high and then 3 medium, 7 or 8 low, and then informational as well. The reason for this mismatch is, remember in our parameters we have specifically mentioned that we are testing for this site only. We do not want to test the redundant sites, right? But here we have redundant sites. This is not the only site we have in site tree, and we can see here the URL is also different. So that means that we need to remove these from the site tree as well. So with that we will be seeing in the upcoming lectures, but as of now let us see what we are left with. So strength, threshold, passive scan, confidence, all of these has been covered. Policy. Now this policy comes into the picture in case of active scan, and this policy is something where we are defining the rules for active scan with both strength and threshold. So policies you can check under the scan policy manager, and here you can see the default policy as well, right? And let us create one new policy from here, add, and we'll name it demo policy. And here you are seeing the various categories, and within each category there are various tests as well, and with each test we have threshold and strength associated. And as of now each of these values are set to default, and default further is set to medium. So you can change this default value from here, right? And see, strength has one more level, guys, which is insane, which is even greater than high. Okay, and you can change the category wise strength and threshold from here as well. So for injection I want high threshold and high strength, and for server security I want, say, high threshold and insane strength. And if you will see the properties now, these are updated accordingly. Okay, so this policy you can further use for your active scanning. Okay, and yeah, we are done for the agenda which we had for this particular video. We have the complete understanding of reporting now, and we also discussed a few important terms which are there in ZAP security testing. In our upcoming videos we will see how to run active scan and wait for the active scan to get completed, cleaning the site tree after each test, blocking a redundant site from scanning, and many more to come, guys. And I hope you are liking the content that I'm creating. If that's so, please leave the feedback. In case you have any question, please put that in the comment section as well. And I will attach all the notes in the description section. I will leave the GitHub repo link as well. And please do like and subscribe. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching.